Alright, ladies and gentlemen, of course the version 3.8 Memory of Chaos did just release a while ago, and we did already try it on our main account. We got close at times, but honestly I just got a bit lazy and I'm not bothered enough to do it on my main. But on our secondary account we do have a Firefly, as well as a Dahlia, as well as a Fugue, as well as a Lingsha. So we should be in the clear when it comes to the teams we're going to be using. First of all, every single unit here is E0S0, I should preface, but when it comes to the teams itself, we're going for ANAXA on the first half alongside Sunday, Cerydra and Heng PT, no Cyrene on this account, and then we have our Firefly, Fugue, Lingsha, as well as Dahlia to round everything out. Full character builds will be at the end. With that being said, let's just hop right into it. But real quick, if you don't play any Star Rail characters, then I have the perfect thing for you, and that's a sponsor, Lootpal.gg. You can use Lootpal to top up on your favorite games like Honkai, Star Rail, or Genshin Impact and save up to 25%, along with great value offers like the all-in-one bundle, guaranteed limited and rerun character bundles, and the limited 6,480 generic shards pack that lasts for the first week of the brand new version, and costs only $70 as opposed to the $100 it would in game. If I were to buy the 3,280 generic shards and get double with the top up bonus, all I have to do is enter in my UID, region, and go to top up now, and they typically arrive in less than a minute. Creators like DuckTV and Jello Impact are also collaborating with Lootpal, so they are trustworthy, and they also have thousands of positive reviews on Trustpilot. Also, new users can get 10% off, and returning users can get up to 8% off in the first week of the new version. So be sure to check out Lootpal with the link in the description. Back to the video. Alright, well then, here we are on our ANAXA half to start off. Now, one thing I will say is that obviously I hear a lot of people saying that Cyrene is pretty good with ANAXA as well. Obviously, like I said, she is on my main account, so I can't test out, but is Cyrene an upgrade in ANAXA teams? I believe people normally say as a Sunday replacement, which, you know, I quite like the Sunday variant, to be fair. It definitely does feel quite satisfying to play, although I will say with Cerydra, because I normally run attack boots on our ANAXA, because if I run speed boots and Cerydra, it just doesn't feel like that much of a buff. Although this does mean I have to use quite a few skill points as well if I want to keep up the buff, because obviously since ANAXA is taking that many actions. So maybe I can see a world in which Cyrene would actually be better than Sunday, unless they use her as a Cerydra replacement, although I think most people say that it's Cerydra plus Cyrene plus Dunhung plus thingy plus ANAXA. Although to be fair, Dunhung does let Sunday maximize his buffing potential, because technically we do now have a summon on our ANAXA, that being Dunhung's dragon. Anyway, we are doing quite a lot of hits here, obviously very satisfying, as you can always expect with ANAXA. We do have over 100% credit on him when we do have Sunday's buffs up, so you know, that's also once again just very satisfying, very consistent DPS numbers. I will say ANAXA is probably the biggest surprise for me from version 3. I thought, to be fair, before he released, I thought he was going to be an Nihility character for Akron. So when I found out he was an Erudition unit, I actually did not really expect that whatsoever, but hey, pulled him on my alt account because I just like ANAXA as a character. I couldn't really justify pulling him on my main because there was some other upcoming characters I was waiting for, but on my alt account, he has... Honestly, he's been carrying it. Originally, it was Firefly carrying it. Now, it's him carrying it. For those who don't know, the old account, I played for every day until version 1.3, and then after 1.3, I basically only logged on to collect the free daily temples, although that has changed in Amphoris. We've started logging in daily again. I don't really do events on it, unless they're really quick. I normally just do dailies, and that's mostly it. Claim whatever free wishes, stuff like that, but that's enough. Anyway, sadly we weren't able to zero cycle the first half, but on the bright side, we will still have all of our stuff ready for the second half. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and proc a little basic attack here, and then this follow-up should kill. Never mind, it doesn't. Okay, that's unfortunate, because now this means that we had our turn order tick down, which means that we will have to refresh our Cerydra buffs sooner, which means we're using more skill points. Although actually, to be fair, it brings us back up to 5 skill points. Actually, never mind, that didn't matter whatsoever. We do have all of the weaknesses on Cocolia, but we're not going to use Nexus Ultimate yet, because sometimes Bronio will action forward Cocolia and cleanse debuffs, and all of these weaknesses implanted count as debuffs. So let's see. Okay, yep, perfect. Thank you, Cocolia, for making me look smart. So, or Bronio actually, rather, I should say, thank you. So now we're just gonna go ahead and pop our ultimate, get all of the weaknesses back so that we can keep getting our duplicated skills. So now let's go ahead and press E, and let's see, 116,000. And now 145,000, so that's 250,000, 158,000, so that's 400,000, 121,000, so that's 570,000. If I'm doing my math correctly, so I believe we ended off at 570k. Give me a second, because now we go ahead and alt, so we add on a additional 100k, so that's 670,000, 142,000, so that's 810, 140,000, so that's, I believe, 940k damage in that rotation, which we love to see, if I say so myself. Now, obviously, characters like Finon and Castrus can also hit some of the DPS numbers, but hey, it's just really satisfying to take 6 actions and dealing 940k. Now we're only going to get 4 actions in this one, so it's not going to be as much. So let's calculate how much DPS we did in this cycle using our ANAXA. Go ahead and actually no, I need a basic attack here, so that's 113k. Actually, did I need the basic attack? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, 113,000 into this is gonna be 163,000, so that's 270. So that's 430k. Okay, our DPS numbers 400k, 125, so that's 680,000, and that's about over 700,000. So, and if we had been able to use another skill there, so that would have been about 1.6 million damage, I believe, in that cycle, which, hey, I'm pretty happy about. Like I said, people were actually kind of doom posting ANAXA, you know. Like I said, when I was ranking DPSs in Star Rail, you know, I think a lot of people pulled ANAXA as a secondary DPS for the Herta. They thought they were gonna make he was gonna make the Herta the best DPS in the game. Then when we played, it felt the performance of Herta obviously felt good, but we thought he was gonna contribute more personal DPS. Instead, he was just the reason why he was so good was because of the energy he provided for Herta, as well as the weakness break, I guess. But yeah, but then I believe people just slowly started realizing, wait, this guy is just much better as a main DPS. Dare I say, maybe even better than the Herta as a DPS. Actually, I definitely think so. I think ANAXA is one of the best units in the entire game. Him, Castrus, and Finon are 3 I would rate very, very highly right now. Although we will have to see how that changes going into version 4, because my Finon struggled quite a bit on the other half. I think the other top tier team I would say would be Dot. What I will say is we will see how the Dot performance, how the break effect performance goes, but I feel like Break and Dot are going to be in the exact same thing, where they fell off, they were bad for most of version 3, they got their dedicated unit, they're going to be good for a few patches, but then they're going to need another upgrade to survive into version 4, and whether that's going to be enough for them to live into version 4, we'll wait and see. My prediction is that both Break and Dot will fall off by about version 4.4. That is my personal thoughts, and by then we're gonna need another unit or another buff for those units. My prediction is that Dot's gonna get a sustainer and that Firefly is gonna get a direct buff. That's my guess, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they would be nice if they give a direct buff to Fugue as well, because you know, sometimes I feel like you're never really certain whether Harmony MC might just be the best option to go for. Anyway, go ahead and pop this alt. Also, one thing I should mention is that finally on my main account, I have finished the E0S0 quest. It took me a while, because I just got a bit busy. Oh, I didn't know she summons these pillars once Bronya is gone. That's unfortunate. I was hoping all of our damage would be concentrated on this Cacolia, but that's, oh well, what can we do, I suppose, other than take them out as soon as we can. But yeah, finally, after being so far back, I finally managed to finish the E0S0 storyline just before classes started back up at university, and I still need to do the 4.8 story, but I have 2 weeks to do that, so you know, we should be fine. I doubt it's very long, but maybe that's famous last words, because Star Rail loves elongating story quests more than they need to be. But hey, what I will say, I am very happy with E0S0. Definitely, I would say this is my favorite region in Star Rail so far. I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, personally speaking. I tend not to like doing points. You know, I'd say E0S0 9 out of 10, Penacony 8 out of 10, Belobog for nostalgia 7 out of 10, I think. Or actually no, I 7, you know, 7.5 is an acceptable score. I'd say 7.5 for Belobog, and then for Cienjo and Herta Space Station, I'd say probably a 7. You know, Herta Space Station, nothing crazy happened, but it's also very short, so you know, for the duration of it, it's actually very hype. I mean, I remember first booting up the game and thinking it was awesome. Anyway, just gonna go ahead and basic attack here on our Heng, get a skill point back. Skill on our Sunday, alt our ANAXA, so we have all of our buffs up. Here we are going to have to just do a basic, but our duplicated skill should do enough to kill, and we get the Cerydra buff anyway, so yep, there we go. Perfect, 5 cycles, what we love to see, and now that brings us onto our Firefly half. Now, I do have high hopes for this team. This was the half that gave us more troubles on our main account. I tried the dot team, I tried Finon as well. We got 5% off, but then he healed right back up, and you know what, last Memory of Chaos was 1%, and I didn't bother going back. And this Memory of Chaos was 5%, and I also didn't bother going back on my main account, so I'm not going to. Now, I must admit, once again, I have completely forgotten how the dot team works. I remembered for a good while, and then I haven't played this team in like a month, and I instantly forgot how the Dahlia works, if I'm being entirely honest. So if I make any misplays, you will have to go ahead and excuse me. I don't remember if that little countdown on the bottom is tied to her skill or if it's her ultimate. So you know, let's ignore any possible mistakes that I might make. Gonna go ahead and wait for, I believe, Fuyuan is the name of Lingsha's summon. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but they're gonna act, and then we're gonna ult, and then have our ult do damage, and then they will again as well, because I doubt I need the sustain from the ultimate, so that should be fine to do. Also, I'm not certain what I should be targeting down. This is my first try using the dot team, so I don't know. Maybe I just target both at the same time. Maybe that's dumb. I'm not entirely certain. Once again, action advance. Actually, that is quite annoying because now you're just gonna recover from your weakness break. Although luckily Dahlia will allow us to hit through the fact that they're not weakness broken. Dahlia is just a great unit for super break. The question isn't whether Dahlia is super strong enough. It's whether super break is strong enough going into version 4. You know, there has been a decent bit of HP inflation as of version 3.7. So yeah, quite a few teams have fallen off a bit. Especially if you don't have some vertical investment in them. But you guys know me, I pull on E0S0, and just to show that, you know, vertical investment isn't always necessary. But one thing I will say is maybe heading into version 4, maybe we swap this account into one where we use a bit more vertical investment, and then the main account into E0S0 only. I'm not sure what I want to do. Maybe if there's a character that I really like on this account, but I can't get on my main account, maybe then I'll vertically invest in them. I'm not entirely certain what we're gonna do. The main account is always gonna stay E0S0, if I'm being entirely honest. And then when I get a double, we're just gonna have to figure out what to do. Although I have not gotten any doubles in Star Rail yet, so maybe we won't ever have to cross that bridge. Anyway, unfortunately, once again, not zero cycling the first off, but not much we can really do about that. I believe this one should be going down soon, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and pop our ultimate here as well. Lingsha ult into Fuyuan attack, gonna weakness break that. Oh, actually he's already weakness broken, perfect. So yeah, we're definitely clearing in this cycle, although you know, I wish we could have cleared slightly quicker. Maybe if I had focused down one of the enemies instead of just trying to kind of hit both awkwardly, maybe it would have went a bit better. Not entirely certain. Okay, this one's been taken out. Perfect. And now I think we just go ahead and basic attack on our Lingsha, and then we go ahead and skill here. I believe... Oh, okay, never mind. Our buff ran out, so let's go ahead and skill there. And hopefully our skill here takes him out. Otherwise, we're going to have to pop our Firefly. Okay, we need to pop our Firefly out. That's unfortunate. Oh, well, let's go ahead and basic attack to get one extra skill point back. Why not? And then, okay, we're back to 5 skill points as well. Perfect. Okay, that didn't end up being that much of a problem, other than the fact that we weren't able to zero cycle. But, oh well, -1 cycle. Anyway, go ahead. And at least all of our buffs are refreshed, I guess. We're just going to go ahead and pick... Firefly should be actually, wait, I just realized Sam is now fighting Dark Sam. Oh my god, this looks so strange. Okay, that's funsies. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get the extra toughness break with our Firefly, so we're just going to have to pop our Dahlia ult instead. One thing I will say is that this team isn't speed tuned. I believe you need 178 speed on Firefly before buffs to get a perfect speed tuning with Dahlia. Which is not realistic for us, and then you can use an S5 dance, but that requires you to use how many MC, and this is the ult account, so I don't do the story on the ult account, which means that we don't have an E6 HMC, so yeah, this is what we have to run instead. So yeah, we love that for us. Nice follow-up attack from Constance as well. There's a decent bit of damage. What do you guys call it? The Dahlia, Constance? Which one is it? I think Constance is my favorite, to be honest. I don't, you know, Dahlia is a Genshin character. The Dahlia sounds a bit goofy. just like calling Herta the Herta. I don't do that. So honestly, I feel like I'll just be calling her Constance because I keep forcing myself to say Dahlia. Because to be fair, I haven't played the quest, so I don't know if there's any lore reasons why they're calling her the Dahlia. But I think for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and call her Constance. If there is some lore reasons, just tell me it's for lore reasons. You'll get it once you finish the quest. Hopefully no spoilers just before I finish the quest. That would not be ideal. Anyway, we go ahead and basic attack and then proc ult once again. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing this optimally. Then again, this fight is basically just spam your spam Firefly attacks into the main guy and make sure we have good uptime on all of our buffs. That should be the most important part. Or saying that, we will have to go ahead and use our solitary skill point here in order to refresh our Firefly stuff here. Oh, and I think we're about to run. Actually, no, we won't be running into skill point issues. Never mind. Okay, how much do we do here? Oh, 10% of his HP bar only. Well, that's fine. I believe that was 1,000,000 damage there from our Firefly, which we love to see. Okay, let's see how much do we do this time without the extra toughness break. 735k. Good damage, good damage, good damage. Unfortunately, this guy just has a ton of HP, which is like, you know, oh my god, I just realized how goofy those shoes are. Oh my god, those are like fucking jester shoes right there. Okay, that's what I would imagine Shaq would be wearing, but oh well. Anyway, so yeah, we're hitting 735k whilst this guy is weakness broken. Honestly, I thought we'd maybe hit a bit more, just because this guy tends to take quite a lot of damage when he's weakness broken, but that's fine. Okay. Never mind, I don't really need to put any of my brain into this. Or actually, do I want to use a skill point here? If I use a skill point here, yeah, you know, it's going to increase the counter here, and now that there's no enemies here, the higher the count, the more the ult does, so that's pretty important for us. Go ahead and mark our Firefly again. We have 2 cycles left here in order to full clear, which I believe we'll be able to do. Go ahead and pop our ult on Dahlia once again. And now we can go ahead and skill on our Firefly, get our ultimate back. Ooh. Oh, I shouldn't have ulted on Firefly yet. No, what I should have done was I should have used a basic attack on Constance, got a skill point back, and then actually no, because then I wouldn't have been able to refresh my buffs on Fugue either. Okay, well, our skill points are just slightly messed up here, is the unfortunate truth. But hey, on the bright side, we get to refresh our buffs on our Firefly. Okay, that's annoying. Go ahead and weakness break you. This should be, yep, over 1,000,000 damage. Love to see it. Okay, let's just hope he doesn't heal up too much. I think we can go ahead and go for a skill here because we're just gonna go ahead and basic attack on our Fugue and then be able to skill on our Firefly. Like I said, I definitely feel like my gameplay here is not the best. But at the same, you know, I'm starting to feel that maybe I should be focusing the smaller bugs first. Maybe I should be focusing the bugs in position 2 and 4. I assume that, honestly, I kind of thought that our team would be doing more AoE damage. You know, I thought Fugue, Lingsha, and Constance would be able to take care of them better. But turns out that's not really the case. Maybe I'm guessing I'm just underestimating their HP pools. So maybe I should be going for, like I said, the guys in 2 and 3, which will still continue to weakness break this boss. I was about to call it Dark Sam, but I don't just want to keep calling it Dark Sam. So you know, I'll just say the boss. Hopefully this basic attack takes him out. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, that's unlucky. The follow-up attack should though. There we go, perfect. And that's just 6% left on this guy. We should still be able to clear here. We weakness break here, 5%, 4% left. If we're able to destroy the thing on the... Okay, never mind. We're chilling. Okay, Constance takes care of it first. There we go. Okay, you know what? I actually thought we were going to clear a bit faster on the second half, but I guess this guy just has really high HP pools, or maybe I just misplayed, or maybe my team's speed threshold is just not optimized. I do have to say I didn't farm for break effect for a while, and I kind of forgot that my pieces weren't the best, so I definitely should have farmed more in the meantime. But yeah, that's it for our clears. 5 cycles in the first half, 5 cycles on the second half. Just about got it. Yeah, with that being said, let's hop right into the character builds and the outro. Alright, well then, we were just about to squeak past, so there we go. We have 36 stars both of the Last Memory of Chaoses on this account. And then on our main account, we have 36 starred all of them from 2.1 to 3.6. We could have done 3.7, 3.8, but honestly, I'm just too lazy, and I can't be else dealing with this kind of HP inflation 2 years in a row. Although I would say I definitely did make one mistake in my original video when saying that I'm not sure what E0S0 teams can clear the first half very well. I said Remembrance Flagship does decently, and then Archer, and then Firefly, but I'm not sure what other teams. I completely forgot about ANAXA teams that E0S0 definitely were able to clear satisfactorily on the first half as well. Although I will say the second half is even worse than expected, because unless my break effect team is just absolute dog, I'm not sure. You know, I always try to go for as many break effect subs as you know what, you guys just tell me how my break effect stuff looks right now. So on Firefly we've got nearly 2.6k attack, 154 speed. Like I said, can't quite hit any thresholds for that, so I'm just getting as much speed as I can. We do have over 200 break effect before any buffs. Fall of an Eon, traces. I completely forgot that my Firefly traces aren't fully maxed out. I believe I should be maxing out the skill as well. Okay, maybe we are starting to see some of the issues with my break effect team. Not sure if the talent is worth upgrading, so yeah, do let me know how I can speed up my break effect clears. This isn't the best piece. Now that I think about it, only one break effect roll, although I don't have much that's better. This is a pretty solid piece, 4 speed, 23.9 break effect. Attack here with 17.4 break effect and a bit of speed as well. Boots with 21.3 break effect, and then this with break effect but no speed sadly. And then here break effect rope with a decent amount of attack percentage as well as speed. So Firefly, let me know how worth these traces are maxing out. Dahlia as well, 140 speed. The reason why these aren't maxed out is because, you know, I picked up Firefly not really to main on this account, just for the video, and then leveled her up to a good enough level, and because you know when she released she was very broken. So yeah, if you're wondering why my talents aren't maxed out, then that's why. So you know, and then S5 of the tutorial icon on our Dahlia. Traces, we have the ult as well as the talent and the ult maxed out. We have break effect here as well as speed and break effect, as well as speed and break effect, so we have at least 2 rolls in break effect on all of our pieces, 3 here and 3 here. Here we have a lot more rolls of break effect, and then here we have break effect with a bit of speed as well, which Eidolons once again E0, which leaves us with also 202 break effect base. For our, also I'm not sure what speed I should be going for Dahlia. I just made sure to go over 134. Fiag we have over 160 speed, 162 break effect, which I believe she does hit the requirement for this set after all of the buffs. I believe she still should, although I'm not 100% certain now that we changed up our team. 59.1 effective rate, which I think should be good enough for pearls, but I'm not 100% sure. Talent maxed out, skill 9 out of 10. Didn't pick up the speed trace because we already have 161 speed on her, but you know, remind me if my effect rate might be a bit too low on Fugue. I'm not sure if it is now, or if the break effect in a Constance team. I remember when I used to run May, it used to be enough. Not sure about nowadays. 80.7 break effect, 6 with 10.3. Effect rate with speed and break effect, 6 and 11. Speed with effect rate, no break effect subs sadly. HP with break effect, no speed, although once again we already hit 160. And then break effect with a bit more speed here. Maybe I need to swap this out for one which has effect rate, although I'm not sure if I have any of those. Eidolons E0 for our Lingsha. Over 2k attack, 144 speed, 172 break effect on the S5 Gallagher Lightcon traces. We have the ult maxed out, and then talent and skill level 9 respectively. Relics, speed, break effect, outgoing healing balance with speed and break effect, and then speed with break effect, although sadly the rolls in it are abhorrent. Do we have anything better here? Yes, we do. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and grab that. Guess I should have checked that earlier. So there we go, slight upgrade I guess, woohoo! Attack with break effect, and then ER with break effect as well. So yeah, and then Islands E0. Like I said, I'm not sure if the Fugan Lingsha build still hit 250. I should have checked that in battle, now that we're running Constance instead of round May. Yeah, don't remember. Oh well. Anyway, like I said, any break effect recommendations from the stats that you've seen, go ahead and let me know. Going on swiftly onto the next, 81 crit becomes 100% with Sunday buffs, 105 crit damage, but with his own trace that becomes 240, and then 240 plus Sunday's buffs will get us to about 300 crit damage, which is very nice for us. So effectively 100 to 300. S5 of that event Lightcon trace is fully maxed out. Speed and double crit rate with speed, and then attack boots with double crit. Rutland Arena, speed crit damage, and then speed crit damage because we already have enough crit rate, E0. And then, but yeah, if you see any non-maxed out traces, blame it on the fact that this is not the main account, it's the alt account, which is why you also see some level 70s as well. This isn't the account that I'm supposed to be clearing on, which is why I don't really complain if I can't clear on this account, because, I haven't put the effort in that I do on my main account, because like I said, this was largely abandoned for basically over a year. 135 speed here, 180 crit damage, 134 ERR, because we do have a Bronya icon, which isn't really leveled up, but oh well. Traces, we do have the talent, ult, and skill maxed out. Relics, we are on Sacrados, just grabbing as much speed and crit damage as we can. And then Lushaka, which does not help our ANAXA. Actually, no, wait, yes it does. I was thinking Penacony. Lushaka will help our ANAXA. Correction. E0, then we have our Heng on 3.3k attack, Archer's Lightcon, which we got from doing all those wishes on his banner, 138 speed. Traces maxed out other than basic attack, and then we are also on the preservation set. Give our ANAXA a bit extra crit damage as well, along with Lushaka, give him some extra attack as well. And the Eidolon's E0 once more. And then finally our Cerydra, the Imperator, there she is. Over 3k attack, 144 speed. I'm sure these other stats don't really matter as much. S5 of the Advent Lightcon once again. Traces once again maxed out. Also on Sacrados, bit more crit damage for our ANAXA, a bit more can't hurt. Lushaka for even more attack percentage, so our ANAXA is absolutely swimming in attack percentage, and E0. So yeah, that's it for the character builds. Let me know how you guys found this Mirror Curse. Let me know any improvements I could make, especially the break effect team, because I am no longer an expert after Dahlia released. But yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.